What's going on, YouTube? Kilo Kaneki here. Can you all see me? Hold on. Can you all see me better now? Alright, cool. This next one is a new one, but it's a fire one. Demon Slayer. The moment that I'm going to talk about, there are really dope moments scattered throughout the whole anime, honestly. But I'm going to bring up the one that made me pick up this anime. Whenever Tanjiro, you know if you've seen it, when Tanjiro and his water breathing technique on his sword mid swing becomes fire breathing technique. With the flashbacks popping up of his father using the fire breathing technique whenever he was still alive, through his dancing. Well, I shouldn't just call it dancing, is more ceremonious than anything, but it was also for the entertainment of the children that were watching. And Nezuko is held by the very sturdy spider threads, and it's pulling really tight into her body to where she's bleeding, and she uses her blood that is exploding, so I guess that's her demon ability, her blood ability, where it goes onto the blade of the sword to help slice off the demon spider's head, or spider demon's head. I believe his name is Raul. It's been a while since I've watched. But that moment in particular, when it ends the episode, fire! This next one, it's a little different. Clannad. It's more of it's not really a romance, it's more of an anime that's meant to make the audience sad. And it works. Now, it's not the most sad anime. I'm told that's Anohana, but I haven't ventured deep past a few clips of that show. But Clannad, I think one of the most grand moments in the show that had me is when Tomoya and Nagisa find out Fuko's backstory. Fuko is dead, but at that moment they didn't know it, and then they figure out who Fuko's family is and what happened. It hits the feels. It hits the feels. This next one, man, I'm glad I pulled up when I did, for Megalobox. This one, I'm surprised it's getting a season 2, honestly. Just found out a few weeks ago. It's been on my radar since. I'm waiting. I'm curious to see what they'll do. But anyways, with this one in particular, for season 1 that's already out, when Joe saves Sachio that first time, and he has some new gear on, his mech gear. He's like, man, this feels good. He's over here, think, blocking whoever. I forget the name of the big dude, but he's like, how many hits have you taken? his gear starts fumbling on him. It starts to show that it's being torn, destroyed. He's like, I'm not wearing gloves, kid. Sachio comes up, takes off the gear off his back so he doesn't get fried or electrocuted from the gear he was wearing. And instead of just heading on out, like I would have done, he instead says, hey, I'm not done fighting. Get up. This is where Joe becomes Gearless Joe, honestly. He has a spark of what real boxing is inside of him. And it just excites him. To where he's like, I just need this one good counter. And then he drops the big dude. This next one is a pure treasure. 91 days. Not a lot of people know about it. One season. I think they're coming out with a season 2 as well. Again, surprised. But, oh, I'm so happy. I'm ready to see what will come of it whenever it's officially announced. I need it to be officially announced. I need that. But anyways, this one season alone, straight fire. Every episode is heat. It's hard to really pick one moment. So I'm gonna go with Fongo. He's an antagonist that serves up a lasagna that the Orko family loves. If you haven't watched it, you need to watch the anime to find out what I'm talking about, to see why that scene go crazy. Noragami. This anime, I don't think anybody hardly ever really speaks on it, but it's basically about a god that isn't recognized and just wants his own little recognition, basically, and does odd jobs in order for more people to recognize he is who he is, and really just wanting to make a name for himself. Essentially, it's someone that wants to make a name for themselves. I respect it. This scene in particular, where he has to go against another god. This dude, Reibo, he's talking mess, taunting, honestly, and says, hey, bet you won't swing. Yato said, be quiet. Calls for his sword, hand out, just waiting on the sword to appear. You see the little anime say, shing, shing, shing. Reibo over there with a smirk on his face. All of a sudden, Slice goes across his face. Smirk goes away. Dude gets thrown into the air and then hits almost anything and everything that's around at that moment. All because dude called for a sword. Turns around and then has these stone cold eyes. Reibo gets up. Those are the eyes. That's what I like to see. Yato is not having it. He doesn't want any more talking. Pure smoke. It's not boxing, it's sword fighting. And they get down. That's why I made this list. This one is tough. It's really tough. I want to put it at GOAT status. But it's so new. Vinland Saga. If you know, you know. If you don't know, catch up before season 2 comes out. But really early on, when Thor's was on a boat with the sorriest group of people. And Thor's is really the only fighter, skilled fighter, that can go against these pirates. Essentially, they're pirates. Thor's handles. His name has an S at the end of it. Thor's handles everybody that's on this other ship. All these pirates. Without killing them. But then there are archers above. Now Thor says to himself, I could handle them. But while doing so, how many of these boys that I have with me on this boat would be harmed in the process? Including his son. Instead, he says, you're the leader, right? You look like you're the leader. 1v1 me. Run the ones. Askeladd approves. Askeladd is defeated, not killed. Askeladd is not an honorable man. Just because Thor's won does not mean that they are let free. Thor knows his life has to be taken in order to save his son and the lives of the other boys on the boat. That moment alone heavy. And that's why I made this list. This next one that not too many people know about, but if you know about it, it's a good time. Devil has a part-time job. What other medium will have you thinking that the devil works at Mickey D's? Let's just start there. But it's another topic. It's another topic for another day. We're talking about good, favorite, epic moments. So, the moment I want to talk about in particular is when the Satan King pops up on screen and his, I don't want to say true form, but I'm going to say true form for the first time. Dieseled Stout pops out and saves, I don't know how many people were on the train, but saves the innocent lives of pedestrians that were on the train on this bridge that was going over this road by using some kind of time freezing ability. Meanwhile, one of the heroes, they're kind of like knights, angel knights, whatever you want to call them. She has to combat Lucifer, Satan, different people in the show, while this ordeal is going down. And I think it was really dope just having someone at first who is clearly an opponent to Satan King. They're cool enough on this to be on the same side in a fight. So just really dope that did go down, and it was unexpected for their notable titles, you could say, in the show. There were so many that I had to make a second video. I couldn't put it all into one. I know a lot of you have not the longest retention on YouTube space and like shorter videos. So I made a part 2 on this one. Here we go. Continuing the list.